Call to order the regular monthly meeting of the Ellsworth City Council. It's Monday, August 15, 2016, 7 p.m. All councilors are here and one council seat is vacant. We invite you to join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 3, Rules of Order. Council meetings are conducted under Robert's Rules of Order, as well as additional rules that were adopted at the organizational meeting in November of 2015. Also, I would ask at this time that you please turn off or silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Thank you. And item 4 is the adoption of minutes from the irregular monthly meeting of the City Council of July 18, 2016.
Move approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Item number 5, City Manager's Report. Manager Cole.
Just a couple of things tonight. First, there's going to be a household hazardous waste and universal waste collection on Saturday, August 20th in Ellsworth at the Ellsworth High School from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. In order to qualify, you must pre-register here at City Hall if you're an Ellsworth resident. If not an Ellsworth resident, you must register in your respective city halls. And you will be given proof of residency that you'll submit at the time, along with your e-waste at the high school. The other thing I would mention, the railroad crossing project that's being done in conjunction with the Forest Avenue Extension project is now ready to go out to bid. We have, as of today, received approval from Maine DOT through the efforts of the Deputy City Manager, getting through all the various regulations. So I believe that that's ready, or that they've signed off on the agreement with us. Right. So that will be going out shortly in case there's anyone watching tonight that wants to build a railroad crossing.
There you go.
Otherwise, your city staff is very busy, as you all know, but trying to get in some well-earned vacation. And otherwise, full speed ahead.
Thank you. Any questions of the manager? Thank you, Manager Cole. Item number 6, committee reports. Any councilors like to report on committee meetings that they've attended since last meeting? Councilor Phillips.
Mr. Chairman, I attended the Harbor Commission meeting. Things are going well down there. There's some bookkeeping discussion or housekeeping discussions about some changes for next year and demand for actually rowboat parking, for one thing, and also trying to get the food vendor RFP out a lot earlier with some modifications, hoping to get somebody a little more solid than they have been successful with this year. Otherwise than that, things were good.
Thank you. Any other committees to report tonight? Councilor Fortier.
Mr. Chairman, Recreation Commission met, failed to muster quorum, but we sat around for some discussion on what we're looking at in the future. Looking forward to being able to review the tobacco use recommendations for our city fields and city property, so we can recommend to the council. Tied in with that is because of the hazardous waste that I'm tasked with on Saturday, let you know that Little League Challenger Series opening day is Saturday morning. I'm not sure exactly what time. I believe it's around 10 at DeMaya 1. It was an incredible year last year for these challenge youth from all over Eastern Maine. And then next Wednesday on the 24th, they're going to allow me to burn hamburgers again for the employee cookout at Knowlton Park at 3 o'clock. So
We appreciate that, Counselor.
Trying to give you all the considerations I can.
And I will be bringing them along with you.
That's it.
Thank you. Any other committees to report? Seeing none, thank you. Item 7 is citizen comments. This is a time on our agenda where we invite citizens of Ellsworth to make comments regarding any of the business of the city, particularly things that may be items on our agenda this evening. And we'll give you the floor for a few minutes if you care to speak. So I'll open it now, and anybody who would like to speak, please come to the podium, state your name for the record, and try to be brief as you can. Anyone at all? That's pretty brief. Thank you. Item 8 is the presentation of awards. I'm going to take them a little bit out of order tonight, and I'm going to ask if Mr. Whedon is here from the Water Department. I didn't see him come in. I haven't seen him. He will be... Is he coming? I knew if we mentioned his name, he'd run down the hallway.
I was waiting.
Stay right here. Stay right here. That's good timing. That's good timing. Thank you. Were you watching TV and then ran right down?
Yes, sounds good.
Go ahead and stand right over here so everybody can see. We need a pretty face up here. The City of Ellsworth proudly presents this certificate of service to John Whedon, recognition of your 10 years of service as the watershed steward for the Ellsworth Water Department. Your devotion to duty and loyalty to the community have contributed to the improvement of the City of Ellsworth. Presented this 15th day of August 2016, signed David Cole, City Manager, and Heidi Grindle, City Clerk. John, we appreciate the work that you do, and we thank you for your 10 years of service. Thank you. Now we're going to ask Terry Linscott, Chad Wilmot, and Dorothy Small to all come up front here with me, if you would.
You want them by height?
We do that naturally.
No, let's go by rank.
Alphabetically by height.
We are recognizing 3 of our finest tonight, and it seems we were talking about this a little earlier. We counted up the years last time of the fire department when we had a lot of, I think, 6 people that were recognized last month. And so now we're counting up the years on this department, and all I can say is I'm thankful for all the years that all these people have put in. And it shows a level of dedication and devotion to service that is rare today, very rare. And so we're not just doing this because the time is up. We're doing it because we truly appreciate the service that these people have rendered. And I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Chief Bickmore?
Well, it's always an honor to recognize your people. I've been here a short time, and these employees are fantastic employees. You know, 5 years, 15, 35. Dottie's a legend in town. Terry, you do an awesome job. Chad, outstanding professional. All of you are highly successful, and your work is well appreciated by the police department and the dispatchers, patrolmen, and everyone that you serve in the community. So thank you and congratulations.
And I think we say it each time, but I mean, when you look around and see their colleagues here, people that you work with, people that you mean a lot to, that speaks volumes right there. And so we just want you to know that you are very much appreciated, and we thank you for that service. So the first one is for Terry Linscott in recognition of your 5 years of service as a dispatcher for the Ellsworth Police Department. Your devotion to duty and loyalty to the community have contributed to the improvement of the City of Ellsworth. Presented this 15th day of August 2016, signed David Cole, City Manager, and Heidi Grindle, City Clerk. Terry, congratulations. Next is Chad Wilmot.
I tried to go on.
Next time, get in the right place.
Long and the short
Next
of it.
35. In recognition of your 15 years of service, Chad, as a police officer for the Ellsworth Police Department, your devotion to duty and loyalty to the community have contributed to the improvement of the city of Ellsworth. Presented this 15th day of August 2016, again signed David Cole, City Manager, and Heidi Grindle, City Clerk. Chad, thank you for your service. Hi.
Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz.
And the City of Ellsworth proudly presents this certificate of service to Dorothy Small in recognition of your 35 years of service as detective for the Ellsworth Police Department. Your devotion to duty and loyalty to the community have contributed to the improvement of the City of Ellsworth. Presented this 15th day of August 2016, signed David Cole, City Manager, and Heidi Grindle, City Clerk. What can I say, Dottie? 35 years of dedicated service, and you are a legend. One more.
Go ahead and smack him.
You want to speak to this sort of chief?
Well, it's an honor for me to be here tonight to present a commendation letter to Officer Amy Torrey. And I'd like Amy to come up and stand next to the mayor a minute. I know how much she loves to be in the spotlight. On July 28, 2016, Officer Torrey responded to a convenience store parking lot on High Street in Ellsworth after a 911 call was placed. The caller indicated a male was slumped over in his car. Upon arriving, Officer Torrey removed the male onto the ground, checking for signs of life, and finding none, she began administering CPR until emergency medical service arrived. Once EMS arrived, they determined the male had a pulse and transported him to the hospital, where he was treated with Narcan and made a full recovery. Officer Torrey provided life-saving medical intervention that played an important role in saving the man's life. In doing so, she displayed an adherence to our core values of community service and professionalism. Her actions are a credit to the Ellsworth Police Department, and therefore, she is commended for her life-saving actions. Good job.
I'd like to read the letter of commendation. The Ellsworth Police Department proudly presents this certificate to Officer Amy Torrey in recognition of your quick action and exemplary dedication in the administration of life-saving medical intervention, which played a critical role in the saving of a life. Your actions and integrity are a credit to the Ellsworth Police Department and indicative of a strong commitment to the department's core values of community service and professionalism. Presented this 15th day of August 2016, signed Harold Bickmore, Chief of Police, Ellsworth Police Department, Robert Crossway, Chair, Ellsworth City Council. Once again, Amy, our congratulations and thanks. Thank you, everyone, for your response to these awards. We don't give them lightly. People don't just show up to earn them. They have put in a good many years and done some great things. And I've got to say, on behalf of the City Council, I think we have we'd have a unanimous vote that we're very grateful for both our police and fire departments and all the departments of the city and the devotion that people have to their duties. There are no items of unfinished business on the agenda, so on the consent agenda this evening, we have three items on consent agenda. These are items of routine business that will be enacted by one motion unless there is a counselor who would like to set aside one or more of the consent agenda items. Anyone wish to set aside? Very well, we'll take those three items up now. Item 9, Council Order Number 081603, request of the Deputy Treasurer Tax Collector to initiate civil actions in the name of the City of Ellsworth for the purpose of collecting delinquent personal property taxes. Item 10, Council Order Number 081604, request of the Deputy Treasurer Tax Collector to accept payments on tax-acquired timeshare units per the attached spreadsheet and to authorize the city manager to release said properties through municipal quitclaim deeds. Item 11, Council Order Number 081605, request of the City of Ellsworth Housing Authority for confirmation of the reappointment of Elizabeth Martell as a tenant representative to the Ellsworth Housing Authority Board with a term to expire September of 2020.
Mr. Chairman, move approval is presented.
Moved and second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor? That's unanimous. We'll turn to new business now. Item number 12. We have a number of applications for licenses, so we'll take them one at a time, each one requiring a public hearing. The first is Jennifer Goodrich Wing, doing business as Pepper's Pub, Inc., 20 Water Street, for renewal of a City Class B license, amusement, victualler, and alcohol, and renewal of a state malt, spirituous, and vinous Class 11 restaurant lounge liquor license. First off, city staff, any issues or any problems with any of this? All right. We'll open the public hearing and ask if anyone has any comments or questions, concerns regarding this application. If so, please come to the podium and speak up. Hearing none, close the public hearing. Council action.
Chairman, move approval of the request of Pepper's Pub for renewal of their licenses.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Second is Melanie Omler Fox, doing business as Helen's Restaurant of Ellsworth, 55 Down East Highway, renewal of a City Class C license, victualler and alcohol, and renewal of a State Class 1, 2, 3, and 4 restaurant liquor license. I'll open the public hearing. Anyone care to comment on this application? Hearing none, close the public hearing. City staff, is everything okay here? No issues, no problems?
Mr. Chairman,
Council.
move approval of the applicant.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Next is John Morse, doing business as Tag Sports Bar, 248 State Street, Suite 4, for renewal of a City Class A license, food, liquor, arcade, pool tables, and amusement, and renewal of a state restaurant lounge, Class 11 malt, spirituous, vinous liquor license. City staff, any issues? Nothing. Open the public hearing. Anyone care to comment? Any concerns on this application? Hearing none, close the public hearing. Council?
Mr. Chairman, move approval for the request of Tag Sports Bar for renewal of their licenses.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Next is Barb and Kevin Bouzet, doing business as Silver Saint Sanctuary, 33 Birch Avenue, for a new city lodging license. I believe Barb and Kevin are here. Would you like to stand? And if you have anything you would like to say, we would welcome that tonight. We welcome you to your new digs, and we're happy to see that you're moving along.
We're happy to be moving.
Yeah, good. Right, good. Excellent. All
So
right,
I have a question of Mr. Chairman.
go for it.
We got maybe dozens of people watching TV right now. How do they find out? Do you have a website?
We do, website is sanctuarybnb.com.
sanctuarybnb.com. Okay, good. Free advertising.
There you go.
That's good.
That's great. All right, I'll open the public hearing. Anyone that has comments or any concerns about this application? City staff, we're okay? And I'll close the public hearing. And
Mr. Chairman, move approval.
Second.
move and second it. Any discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Welcome.
Thank you.
Next is Paul Linscott, doing business as Eastward Bowling Lanes and Eastward Lunch, 25 Eastward Lane Suite 6 for a new City Class B license, arcade, over 12 units, victualler and alcohol, and new state restaurant, malt, and vinous Class 3 and 4 liquor license. So, staff,
Yeah.
who has a comment on this?
So currently, at this time, Eastward Lanes has not yet received their state license. So tonight, you could still hold the public hearing and then direct the city clerk to obtain all the necessary signatures once the permit from the state is in, license, excuse me.
Okay. And this is not precedent setting because we have done this before.
Correct.
Right. And it's perfectly within bounds. Mr. Linscott, you're here tonight. Please stand and identify yourself. Okay. And I think we pretty much know what your plans are there as far as getting things moving again. So, and what are you doing? Reconstruction now, or renovation, or?
Some renovations,
Yeah.
some cleaning, some, fixing up painting,
Right.
fixing the parking lot a little bit. And pretty much it. And then we're gonna proceed with opening here, grand opening on the 28th.
All right. Thanks for being here tonight, Paul. So I'll open the public hearing. Anyone from the public care to comment or any concerns? Hearing none, close the public hearing. And Councilor Fortier.
Question of the applicant. We have information from our employees that, do you understand this does not allow you to have live entertainment or dancing until you get a state permit on that?
That's correct.
Okay.
There's no live anything. Except for people.
Okay, great. Mr. Chairman,
Councilor.
I'd move approval of the application of Paul Linscott, DBA Eastwood Bowling Lanes, as presented, and further move to direct the city clerk not to sign to issue the paperwork until all signatures are, and licenses from the state are received.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous. And thank you for being here tonight. Good luck. Item number 13, Council Order number 081606, request to rescind Council Order number 121503, acceptance of land on the Happy Town Road, map 099, lot 019-003-000, from Thomas E. Gross and Rona W. Gross. Good evening.
Good evening. As you may remember, in December of 2015, I came to the council and requested that we accept gifted land from the Gross family. We moved forward with that and accepted it. At that point, I had the lawyers draw up all the paperwork and we sent it to the Gross family. After not hearing anything back from them, I reached out and it appears that they have changed their mind about gifting the land. So in order to keep all of our paperwork in order, I'm asking to rescind that council order.
Okay. So it's our understanding that you haven't received anything since you,
No, I haven't received any
Contacted them.
paperwork back
No.
from them.
okay. Guess that would be the natural.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Move and second it to rescind previous council order. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 14. We still have some work to do on item 14.
Mr. Chairman, move to table.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Item 14 is tabled. Item number 15, council order number 081608, request of the police chief to award a bid for 4 new 2017 police cruisers and associated equipment. Chief Bickmore.
Thank you. We received bids from Quirk Ford and Yankee Ford. The bids were for 4 2017 cruisers, Ford Interceptor models, the SUV type that we have now, for a total price of $102,772.00.
Would you repeat that number?
Yes, sir. It's 102,772.00.
Because that's different than your August 3rd memo about
Well, there was
about
a-
the Bluetooth.
There was a memo added, sir,
Okay.
to add the Bluetooth and the side view mirror heater on the 4 cruises.
Those cars now meet the specs, and you're happy with what they are?
Yes, sir.
And for the information of the public, what color are these going to be?
Black and white.
Going back to the... That's good. And this is just the hood and the front door? White?
Well, the doors will be white.
Both doors?
Everything else will be black. The roof and the hoods, the two doors will be white.
What's the reason for that? You didn't like the other cars?
Adam
More
12.
traditional.
I thought at least one of them should be unmarked.
We got one.
It's just gonna be painted black and white.
That's right.
It's okay. Car 54 doesn't mind.
You just got to the point where I recognize the things coming down.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at changing the colors on it.
Oh, dear. Your plan is out there now. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess car 54 is too.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Officer
Some things
Goody.
don't die. Council?
Mr. Chairman, move to award the police cruiser bid to Quirk Ford for 4 cruisers in the amount of $102,772 to be funded from the police cruiser capital improvement account, $51,386, and bank financing for the difference of $51,386. Quirk
Second.
Ford was the low bidder too. Yes, this is in front of us.
Did I get a second?
Yes, sir.
Porter? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any further discussion on this?
Do you have an idea when they will be delivered?
I believe they're 30 to 90 day delivery.
Good.
If I remember right, the bid documents required 90, didn't it?
I think so. Lieutenant Page is here.
It did, and I think, I'm not sure what the bid they sent back is, it's roughly, I think this is 90 to 120. It depends on how busy it is and where it goes in the production schedule. But I would, it's probably gonna be, in actuality, 60 to 90 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? We have a motion. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Item number 16, council order number 081609, request of the finance director to withdraw funds from police department reserve account for purchase of 8 rifles and associated equipment for the Ellsworth Police Department.
So due to some recent events in the United States involving the shootings of police officers, the police chief is requesting to purchase 8 new rifles for the officers. This will allow each officer to have their own rifle for the safety of themselves as well as the public. We already have some officers that currently own or currently have their own rifles. The city purchased those for $1. And if they leave the city, they would return that $1 back to the city. We did this program because it needed to satisfy insurance requirements. This was an unbudgeted item. However, the reserve account has a balance of $10,247. Police chief is here to answer any questions about the weapons that he's intending to purchase.
All right, questions? Councilor Phillips?
Excuse, yeah, the reserve account is actually funds, forfeited funds, correct?
Yes.
So, okay.
It's a good use of it.
We'll
Yes.
Immediately gotten funds to buy.
Yeah.
It's awesome, awesome.
Drugs for good.
Thank you.
So it's it's a forfeiture reserve account? Don't we have 2?
We have 2 right now. So
'Cause
we
it-
have the federally forfeited property reserve account, and that was mandated for us to create this account when we had, this was years before me. We had to set it up that way. Since then, in order to reduce some of those limitations on the money that we spend, we've added a separate line to our sub-accounts within the reserves.
And it's good to be able to buy Maine guns.
True.
Not made in China or someplace.
Friend of Maine.
Yep. Get 6 more, we can rack them right behind us during council meetings.
We can take care of that, sir.
Okay. You may have to give up a cruiser, but
If there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve the request of the finance director to withdraw $8,840 from the police reserve account to purchase 8 rifles and associated equipment.
Second.
Moved second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you, Chief,
Thank
and
you.
thank you, Finance Director Moe. Item 17, public hearing and action on Council Order Number 081610, establishment of a proposed affordable housing tax increment financing district, a TIF district, and development program. Manager Cole.
At the July meeting, Kevin Bunker of Developers Collaborative, who's with us tonight, presented on an exciting housing project up off Washington Street behind the Ellsworth Shopping Center. Since that time, city staff has worked closely with Kevin and his team to assemble a tax increment financing district and development program. As you know, having given the city has done previous TIFs, the way a TIF works is the original assessed value of the property is frozen, so no existing taxes are lost through a TIF, and that the additional taxes, or excuse me, revenues from value or increment, if you will, can go towards a TIF financing. In this particular case, it's a 4.67 acre lot that will accommodate the first 50 units of the development, with hopefully another 50 units of market housing following at an adjacent lot at a later time. That will generate approximately $4.7 million in new valuation for the city, but instead of going into the general fund, these funds would go into a TIF program fund and be split. 50% of the new tax revenues would go back to the developer, Manx Development LLC, to help as a credit enhancement to make that project possible. And also the Maine State Housing Authority, which will be one of the primary financiers of this project, has a point system in awarding their highly sought after tax credits, and to be competitive, to get the necessary points, a TIF, a locally sponsored TIF, is almost essential. The other 50% of the funds would come back to the city. And in this particular case, they would go towards school operating costs associated with additional school children that would be generated by the project using accepted models in terms of housing units per school children. I would note that even though 50% of the new taxes generated by this investment would go back to the project to help underwrite this affordable workforce housing, the way a TIF works, as you know, is that it is not subject to the school funding formula from the state level, it's not subject to county taxation, and it's not subject to revenue sharing formulas. As part of the application, the applicant has done what's known as a tax shift analysis, and essentially the city's contribution will be virtually offset by that tax shift. So the city, in the end, will get the same amount of money it would otherwise get. The only limitation, if you will, is its share would be used for school operating funds, but obviously that's an ongoing need every year. So, and I would also note that those funds, which are under the control of the city council, would be used first to offset school operating costs and would lower by that amount the amount necessary through taxation to cover school operating costs. Kevin Bunker of it's a long day. Developers Collaborative is here with us tonight, and if I've misspoken in any way, I know Kevin can clear that up. But done an excellent job. I would also note that Kevin and his team has been meeting with our technical review team through the planning process. They've been to the planning board parallel to these efforts, and in my estimation have done a very good job in terms of presenting their project.
Kevin, welcome. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to add? Feel free.
No, I think City Manager Cole pretty much captured. The virtually offset is slightly wrong because actually the city is getting a little bit more money than it otherwise would have gotten, but it is so close to even that it's not probably worth spending a lot of time on how much more you're getting a year than how much less, but it is a little bit more.
But if there's a variation, we like it to go that way.
It is on the right side.
That's the right
yes.
direction.
It is.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I raise it, because it's on the positive.
Right. My question is the TIF district going to just include the first phase for now, or
Yes.
are we looking at
Yes.
TIFing? Okay.
Yeah, we felt, Kevin and I were speaking along the way, and it would just be less confusing, and we can expand the TIF district or even form a new TIF district at a later time,
Right.
if it's the council's desires to go for a phase 2 project.
But a market rate residential development probably wouldn't score any points at Main State Housing, would it?
Well,
Very low on the list.
it wouldn't be funded through Main State Housing. It would be funded through traditional debt and equity. And the only rationale for including it in a TIF district is because not every housing unit in the TIF district has to be affordable. If 1/3 of them are affordable, you would be authorized to TIF the whole thing. And then even if the development doesn't need any TIF proceeds, you should still TIF it and keep them for yourselves, because there's going to be a lot of valuation added, and it makes no sense to give half of it away.
And that's the portion of it that, if we do it, I think we need to look at the last 8 years of incrementally, so that at the end of that 30 years, we don't fall off a cliff on both of these developments, where all of a sudden our valuation is up $12 million, and bang. So,
It's a good point.
yeah, I hate those cliffs.
Yep.
Like
I think
Fees
it depends on what happens over the 30 years vis-a-vis your situation with the county and state. But as it sort of happens right now, there'd only be a little bit of a it wouldn't be a cliff, it'd be more like stepping off a sidewalk, because the money that goes to the development would just be substituted by the money that goes to the county and state. So the valuation would go way up, and your money would go way down, but that was money that was formerly going to the development anyway. So it's sort of, from a fiscal perspective, the city account, the same thing is sort of happening either way. Money's coming in and half of it's going out. And that, as long as that ratio kind of stays true, there won't be a cliff, because that'll continue to happen. Just the number will go up and then it will go back down again.
But didn't I see somewhere in this paperwork that on average, if we didn't TIF this because of the tax shift or the lack of municipal revenue sharing and general purpose aid education, that we'd only be realizing, was it 47 or 45% of that
48, yeah.
value
48%.
out there?
Right.
But if we TIF it, we're gonna get close to 101% or
Right.
so of the value, and then all of a sudden, at the end of 30 years, we're back to getting the 48%.
Right, but today, that 101% that you're capturing, you're hopefully agreeing to dedicate 50% of that to the development itself. So you're netting, even today, if this goes forward, you're still kind of netting 50 cents.
Yeah.
And afterwards, after it all goes away, you'll still be sort of netting 50 cents. So it doesn't
Yeah.
move much.
And when I used the term virtually, what I probably essentially would have been a better term, but my point was that these are based on a model of calculations in the future, which I believe to be pretty solid, but we don't know for sure. It could vary 1 degree or one way or the other way in the end.
Yeah, I think it's a great use for this program.
And is there any way, any way with the TIF, that mean that there's a guarantee of any kind? Like, do we get a guarantee as a city as far as build out and as far as completing the project and that kind of thing?
Yeah, and as part of the package is a draft credit enhancement agreement. Now, the TIF application is between you and the state.
Mhm.
You apply to the state grants it, you're
Right.
allowed to do certain things in return for doing certain things. Then the contractual relationship between the project and the city takes place via the credit enhancement agreement, which is a legal document we've drafted between our council and yours, and that specifies all the things that we have to do, everything from build the project on time, do what we say we're gonna do, pay the taxes when they're due, don't allow liens on the property, all the things that, all the stuff that you want us to do, like you're talking about.
Right.
And if we don't do those things, you
Right.
have the ability to rescind.
Plus, it's based on a model,
Right.
counselor, where they can only give back what they put in, 50% of what they pay in. So there's no downside to the city. If they don't build it, they don't get anything back.
Right, right.
And if we
But
don't,
these are questions that the general public ask. Yeah.
I think there's, I forget the date, but if there's a date by which we don't complete construction, you can unilaterally cancel the whole thing and the whole thing goes away.
How much of the legal work that is needed for this has already been drafted? Are we close to,
It's a relatively short document and it's
Yeah.
done.
we got copies here?
It's in your
So this is all we're
packet.
gonna need, is what we've seen already?
The credit enhancement agreement, which you have a copy of,
Yeah.
has been reviewed by the city's legal counsel, working with the developer's legal counsel and staff. So that is done, unless there's some changes, but I believe the bulk of it is done at this point.
Okay, great.
And I would say this is a pretty straightforward TIF deal, you know, the way it's structured.
And, Mr. Chairman, when staff has a new set of eyes, like the annual report, I didn't find a thing out of order in that, not from legal sense, but from grammatic and punctuation and sentence structure. It upset me. I didn't find anything.
I will definitely pass that along to my attorney. He'll be thrilled to hear
No.
that. He's very bad at math, but very good at English.
That's why you do the math.
Yeah.
Passing this tonight and setting it up will help you as far as your timeline is concerned?
It's absolutely critical, yes.
Yeah,
Be a big help. It'll be a big advantage come this fall.
right. Okay.
And I believe the Maine State Housing will be accepting applications in October or making decisions?
Yeah, it's October 27th or 28th, and everything has to be all finalized 45 days out before that.
Right.
So we're,
You're in good shape.
Yeah.
Good.
So we can have spring construction, or shortly thereafter.
that's the hope.
Okay, the one thing we haven't done is have a public hearing, so we're going to do that now.
Okay, I'll sit down. Thank you.
Open the public hearing for comments from the public. Anyone care to address this item? This is an exciting project. Hearing no comments, I'll close the public hearing and defer to council. Question of the clerk, do we need to read all of the council order?
We don't have a proposed motion. Mr. Chairman,
Counselor?
move approval of the Oriole Way Affordable Housing Municipal Development and Tax Increment Financing District Development Program as presented.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion or any questions? All those in favor? That's unanimous vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 18.
Mr. Chairman, move
Yes.
table.
Thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Item 18 is tabled. Item 19, Council Order Number 081611, request of the city manager to accept the proposal for construction administration and inspection services from Hedifine Engineering and Design, Inc. for the Forest Avenue Extension Construction Project. Finance Director Moak.
Yes, Hedifine Engineering was hired to complete all engineering services through construction documents on the Forest Avenue Extension Project. To follow this project through final completion, Hedifine Engineering has submitted an engineering proposal for construction administration and inspection services. This proposal includes the reviewing of technical submittals, reviewing pay requisitions, preparing contract details, full-time inspection services, and preparing substantial completion review and closeout paperwork, as well as provide communication and coordination between the city as with the contractor. He is requesting $93,900 for these services.
Manager Cole?
I would also note that within the scope of services is also coordination on the rail crossing project and dealing with the main DOT and federal aspects. Even though they're separate projects, there has to be somebody who's a point person for the city, and Hedifine Associates will play that role. And I would also note that, given the size of the project, these amounts for engineering and inspection, in my opinion, are in line with the size and scope of the project.
You have any experience in road building? No? Okay.
Just bridges with observation towers.
There you go. Because that extension includes the railroad, and that makes it a federal project.
Just the rail crossing project is federalized, not our project for the highway. But nonetheless, it has to be coordinated on the city's behalf, and Hedifine will play that role under this contract.
And will the feds have their own inspectors too, or no?
We haven't, have we sorted through? We're getting ready to go out to bid on that project, so I'm sure that there will be an inspection at some point. VHB is the city's design engineer on that project, so I'm assuming they will do final inspection.
Sounds good. Anything else on that?
I don't have anything, Council Fortier.
Councilor Fortier?
Just to clarify, the proposed motion sets an amount. In his presentation, it's an estimated amount, like we do with road projects, for an estimated amount of such, and accept his rate sheet. Is that supposed to, should we do that here?
Yeah, you could say,
Up to.
And approve his standard rate schedule?
yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I wouldn't even leave up doing it, because if we give him more work to do,
Yep.
then
Okay.
we,
Yep.
yeah, okay. So we'll make that change.
Anyone else? I'm ready for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve the request of the city manager to accept the proposal for construction, administration, and inspection services from Head of Fine Engineering Design Incorporated for the Forest Avenue Extension Construction Project in the estimated amount of $93,900. We also at this time accept his rate sheet provided to us to be funded from bond proceeds.
Second.
Thank you. Move and second it. Any further discussion? All those in favor? That's unanimous vote. Thank you. Item number 20 is executive session to discuss labor contracts in accordance with MRSA Title I, Chapter 13, Section 405, Paragraph 6D. We'll be going into executive session and coming out to discuss and act on the item from executive session. So we'll take our...
Second.
Move and second it. All in favor? We are going into executive session. Thank you.
Okay.
John Moore, Mark Blanchett, 81760.
Whatever you're on now. It's just what we said.
Another one, please.
Right?
I'm just making sure the clerk's ready. All right, item number 21. Council order number 081612. Discussion and action on item from executive session. What is your pleasure?
We'll take no action.
Move to take no action.
Second.
Second. And direct our staff and negotiator to continue negotiation. All in favor? That's
to
unanimous.
adjourn.
Second.
Moving second to adjourn. All in favor? We're adjourned.